This window right here has a bullet hole through it, and if we come over this way, this one is completely shot out. JSO is sharing these videos after a similar event last weekend, saying hundreds of kids were using drugs, fighting and pepper spraying each other. Lake City officials do want people to remain off of the roads. JSO, who is still out here investigating at this hour, says they did find that decomposing body on their front porch. And the owners of that car tell me it is completely squished. And as I'm walking around, we get another look at just how big this tree is. Sheriff Bill Leeper calling that little girl brave after she was able to exit that home and run across the street to a neighbor and tell them that the shooting happened in her home. Does that winning number match any of your numbers on there?
Yes.
You have a winner?
Well, easy.
Oh, okay. I got excited.
Do you guys have anything to say about the indictment?
Well,
I know she's part of the DTU, and as someone who mentioned it
today, but thank you.
Will you guys be making any comment in the time soon?
I'll get back to you.
This bill proposal wants to get rid of these speed detection cameras in school zones. On my last try,
All right.
I made it over the bar.
Yes, sir!
Now we leave the stuffy studio, as they call it, and head back to Springfield, where Kent and Joy are waiting to tell us more about what the city has to offer. This is the Internal Affairs Investigation report on Corporal Gregory Succi. And in this letter of reprimand, it shows he was reassigned to another unit and lost his corporal status. But how and why did this happen? It all relates to this comment, which reads, "We need like a 3-day open season on the homeless, no bag limit." The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office confirms Succi posted that comment from his personal social media account. I was the first to tell you about Succi posting that in February.
Right now it's 6. News4Jax has learned a St. Johns County deputy is now on administrative leave.
And earlier this month, I told you he was placed on administrative leave while that internal affairs investigation happened. In this report, it details the investigation they did surrounding Corporal Gregory Succi. It also talks about how he says he's remorseful for making that comment. It also quotes him as saying, "I thought, it would be something funny, but, obviously I didn't think about the reach of it and the context of it. They don't know the work that I've done with the homeless or the work that I've done with the sheriff's office."
That is disheartening.
Sergeant Richard White of the Salvation Army is someone who, along with his organization, helps feed those experiencing homelessness in St. Johns County. He says the deputy's comment surprised him because it's not what he's seen from that community, which comes out often to feed those in need.
Any of us could find ourselves in a place where we may be without a home or in a tough spot. And we would hope that there's someone to come along that would lift us up and not lift us down.
And if we go back to the investigation, there's a long section on why Succi's comments weren't protected by the First Amendment, citing 2 cases. One deals with public sector employees. News4Jax crime and safety analyst and former law enforcement agent Tom Hackney says what happened to Succi shows the fine line public servants must follow.
Due process works that, when these type of things happen, an investigation gets started, they take them seriously. There's repercussions for them.
And it is important to note the sheriff's office says those comments are not a reflection of their mission to serve with excellence. Khalil Maycock, Channel 4, the local station. Along Boone Park Avenue near Talbot Avenue is a home that has a "Do Not Enter" sign posted on the door. From a wider view, you see why. A portion of a wall along the front of the house collapsed in mid-December, exposing mounds of stuff.
It's really demoralizing.
Kate Levitz didn't want to show her face, but tells me she's lived on this street since 2001 and says there have been consistent complaints and problems with the owner of this house.
I think the owner, she just began collecting things, plants, cars, just odds and ends, and the front yard got filled up. And then, it just gradually became more and more of a nuisance.
I reached out to the city's Municipal Code Compliance Division to ask questions about this property. The city employee tells me the home is condemned and was deemed an unsafe structure on December 16th. The owner of the home is working with the city to solve the problem and was in their office yesterday. They also told me there have been compliance issues with this home before. So what if something like this is on your street and you want to have that solved? Here's what you do. Call 904-630-2489 to make a complaint to a code compliance officer. You must use your name and cannot remain anonymous. An officer will go out and check the validity of the claim. If something is found to be an issue, the owner of the property will be contacted to fix it.
We want to preserve the character of the neighborhood.
She also hopes rules get changed, so if a house has so many complaints from neighbors, it gets looked at more closely, so something like this never happens to others. Khalil Maycock, Channel 4, the local station. So much to get to. It's a Sunday. People love to have brunch on a Sunday.
Yes, love a good brunch.
Michelle, if I'm trying to have brunch outside or just brunch inside,
yeah, you're going to want to do it.
a former Duval County music teacher will appear in court tomorrow after being charged with 2 counts of child molestation. JSO is sharing these videos after a similar event last weekend, saying hundreds of kids were using drugs, fighting and pepper spraying each other near Friendship Fountain. News4JAX reporter Chris Will says rumors of similar events continue to circulate on social media. The city has a curfew policy saying children under the age of 18 can't be out after 11 p.m. on weeknights or after midnight on weekends. The exceptions being if they are with an adult or participating in a permitted activity. And community members continue to rally to show support for the man at the center of a viral traffic stop video involving the Jacksonville Sheriff's Office. And JSO says the investigation could take up to 6 months to finish. Organizers have a petition and plan to protest again sometime this week. The St. Johns County Sheriff's Office got a taste of the wild when they were called to get an alligator out of a pool. Deputies caught the gator taking a dip and saying he wasn't thrilled about the interruption or the ride in the patrol car. Deputy Richardson made sure it was safely secured before releasing it into a nearby pond to swim for free.
These alligators are getting out of hand at this point.
They said, we want to take a swim. But a local Jacksonville woman was honored over the weekend at Patton Park. And this is happening just blocks from people's homes. The Clay County Fire Rescue says one firefighter was transported to the hospital. We don't know his condition at this time or what caused the fire. While Eric was out speaking with people on the scene, I spoke to the spokesperson for Hagen Ace Hardware. She says this fire is devastating for the Hagen family. However, they are grateful for the first responders who are helping, and they're praying for a speedy recovery for the one who was injured. The spokesperson also says the family is glad their employees and customers who were in the store when the fire began are not injured. The other Hagen Ace Hardwares in Clay County will be open this weekend to serve the community. This is a developing story tonight. We'll continue to provide updates on air as well as news4jax.com as we receive them. News4JAX reporter Chris Will joins us live from the Tailgater lot. Chris, Jazz Fest doesn't only draw locals. People from around the country come to Jax to catch the action. Yeah, why Americans are starting to consider fast food a luxury. That's next.